Hey beautiful people, what is up? Happy Sunday. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jamila and I love all things beauty. I love all things makeup. I love all things skincare, and I especially love sharing my tips and tricks for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the fam. Okay, so I have a couple of videos that I need to film today, so I figured I would do a chatty get ready with me before I get into the other videos. So today, because I have been dying to film more looks with the Blend Bunny Law palette, I'm gonna do a look with the Law and the Trove palette combined. I still haven't edited my video with, oh my Jesus, with the Trove palette, but it will be up soon. I just need to do some swatch comparisons because I want to make sure I include that in that video. This is currently sold out. I will say that. I do think it is coming back. I don't believe this is limited edition. So if you were interested in this, there should be another opportunity for you to pick this up. Okay, that being said, let's just dive into today's video because I don't want this get ready with me to be super long. And I'm sorry I'm so tongue-tied. It is still quite early and I am just having my coffee. Also, peep the mug. My sister got me this for my birthday. And it is just like a beautiful black woman with really poofy, you know, with her big afro. And in the cup here, it says black is beautiful, which, I mean, it is, I'm just saying. But I really like this mug. So yeah, this is one of my new faves that I've been drinking out of consistently. So usually with my chatty get ready with me videos, I tend to have a topic that I pick beforehand and I have my thoughts a little bit more formulated. I don't have that today. Like, I'm just going in kind of rough, a little bit raw, and just talking about like a bunch of things. So when you see the thumbnail, you'll know what this get ready with me is about because I ain't 100% sure. I do have one thing that I do want to touch on, but other than that, we'll see where this goes. And because this is a chatty get ready with me, all of the products that I'm going to be using will be linked down below, but we won't be going into any sort of in-depth conversation about what I'm putting on my face. All right, let's go. So beautiful. This is just like, I will do a ranking of my Blend Bunny palettes for you guys one day, but not today because let's get into it. So the first topic that I wanted to talk about is Lashgate 2023. And I know that there's a lot on it already out there, but I don't want to talk about the actual incident because honestly, I don't even care anymore. Personally, I'm just kind of over it. It happened. It is what it is. She messed up. Let's just move on. What I want to talk about is something that I started thinking about because of that. Because when the whole Lashgate thing happened, I felt like there were a lot of very polarizing opinions. Some people were over here, like, leave her alone. Some people were over there, like, she's the worst person ever. And I think that really started me thinking about sort of stan culture, right? When we get to the point where we are die-hard fans for people, creators, celebrities, brands. So I want to talk about that today because that really got me like, huh, okay. So if you don't know what's happening, let me give you the 1-minute elevator pitch. Okay. So a couple of days ago at this point of me filming, Michaela, who is a very popular TikToker, beauty TikToker specifically, did a paid ad with L'Oreal featuring their new mascara. And the video is a little suspicious because at the end of the video, when she's showcasing the results of the mascara, it looks as if she's wearing false lashes. Now, Michaela has said that those aren't false lashes. That is, you know, the magic of the mascara. But a lot of people are like, that don't look right. And I agree. It didn't look right. I will fully agree with that. It was a little suspicious. And, you know, Michaela was standing 10 toes deep in the fact that she did not add falsies to it. Since then, a lot of regular people, as well as other influencers, have come out to say, girl, we know it's false lashes. And it's kind of been the big point of conversation in the beauty community for the last couple of days. That's all everyone can talk about, like Lashgate as it's being called. I think it's like very funny because it's so unimportant. Like, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things whether or not she was wearing false lashes. So I find it really funny, but I do think that there are some serious aspects to it because false advertising is wrong. That, you know, it is what it is. It is wrong. And there are like very serious regulations and laws around advertising when it comes to creators. Like, you have to disclose that it's an ad. You can't just tell people that you love a product, especially if you're being paid to promote that product. If you're being paid to promote that product, if you are using affiliate links and those types of things, you have to let people know so that, you know, they can decide if they want to purchase from you or they want to purchase the product. Because if you believe that you're going into purchasing a product based off of an unbiased review, to come to find out later that that person was paid to provide that review, then you can feel a little hoodwinked, swindled, bamboozled. And yes, I know that, you know, we think that everybody should know that it's paid marketing, but not everybody lives in this community, in this YouTube space, in this beauty space, the way in which some of us do. So I think we have to have a little bit of grace in understanding that not everybody is following the beauty trends and the beauty community the way in which we do. So I'll say that. Now, what I found was interesting was that there was such a wide variety in terms of the response of people from sort of both sides of the coin. Like, I think that there was some people who were just like, girl, why is you lying? And they just kind of went on with it. But then I've seen, like, there are some people who are die-hard Michaela fans that are like, leave her alone, everybody does it doesn't matter, what is the big deal? And I feel like as a society, we need to get away from this stan culture where we support anybody and everything so blindly that regardless of what they do, we will still stand behind them. Because I think that we need to think about all of these things objectively, you know? Overall, I feel like stan culture has really evolved in the last couple of years. Now, when I think about what stan culture used to be, it reminds, at least what back in my day, and I'm not that old, you guys, so please don't come for me. Like, in my day, you used to stan or be like a very strong fan of celebrities, and typically it was like either a actress or actor or musician or, you know, something like that. I'm thinking about like the Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC kind of days where it was like either you were team Backstreet Boys or you were team NSYNC. So you know, you rode really hard for these people. You love them. You were, you know, huge fans of them. And I feel like now things have changed where celebrity looks different. Like, you have the typical celebrities, so the people who are celebrities because they are actors, actresses, some type of artist, right? And then you have the people who, I want to call them celebrities, but I don't think that's the right term, but they are famous for the simple fact that they exist, you know, like the Kardashians and all of these influencers who are now becoming like widely known, you know, the Jeffree Stars, the James Charles, like all of those people who are now extremely well known and extremely popular. They have also grown into this celebrity status, right? And in my opinion, back in the day, stan meant that you supported that person or group or whatever it was fully by, you know, buying their music, watching their movies, going to their concerts, spending money on the things that they're producing, essentially. And now I feel like because we have this sort of new level of celebrity, the way in which people stan or fangirl is very different. And I think the biggest difference between the two is the level of access that we have to these influencers now, which is very different from, you know, the level of access that you had to like a Backstreet Boys or an NSYNC or a Destiny's Child. You know what I mean? So I think because we have this different level of access, people view or end up stunning these creators just in a way that is unhealthy and kind of ridiculous. Now, if this is your first time watching me, I do want to give you a little bit of context about who I am. Like, you know, when it comes to makeup and beauty, I like to take a very objective approach to how I view the beauty community, support brands, support people. And by that, I mean, I don't feel any personal connection to anybody, to any brand, to any other creator, for the most part. Like, there are some creators on this platform that I do talk to, that I text, that I do think I consider friends. But for the most part, most of the people, the vast majority of people that I have met on here are not people that I would say, these are my friends. You know what I mean? And it's not to be bad, and it's not to be shady. It's not to be like, I don't value my audience, because I do. I truly appreciate every single one of you guys. I have so much fun, you know, reading your comments, responding to your comments, even especially the ones that you know, follow me on Instagram, because I'm way more responsive there. And you can have more dialogue there. Like, I appreciate that 100%, but I understand that there's a difference in the relationship that I have with my audience here than the relationship that I have with my friends, my family, the people that I interact with in real life on like an everyday basis, you know? And I think the access in which creators have to their audience is one of the best and also worst things about this sort of influencer audience relationship, right? Like, part of the reason why people love influencers or creators is because of the fact that it feels like you're talking to a friend. It feels like somebody that you can actually vibe with. For the most part, people tend to only follow people that they feel like a nice vibe from, or feel like they could connect with, or feel like they have something in common with. So it's very easy to form this kind of relationship in your mind where you think that you're closer with this person than actually is in reality, right? Because influencers bring you into their life in a way that doesn't happen or did not happen with celebrities. So like I was saying, back in the day when you were like fangirling over like a Backstreet Boys, you were fangirling over them, but you didn't have access to their life outside of their sort of stage presence and their stage personas. But influencers, because most of the content is created around their life and in their homes, you feel a different level of connection, because you feel like you're in their home with them, sitting on their couch, sitting in their bedroom, you know, hanging with them while they're creating content. So I understand that level of connection and how it can create this sort of false belief that there's this super strong relationship between the influencer or the creator and their audience. This is so beautiful. Truthfully, any of those multi-chromes would look amazeballs with this look. Oh god, which is why it's so hot. So I'm gonna go into mermaid tears. Wait, yes. Wait. Shoot. Yes, we're gonna go into mermaid tears, and then I'm gonna take Pearl from the lower palette. So I'm just gonna go in with my finger. I just can't get over this. It's so pretty. And one of the things I like about these multi-chromes that I think might make this different than some of the other ones that I have in my collection is that this one is not too emollient. So if you do have oily lids and those more creamy multi-chromes tend to crease on you, I wonder if this one will be a better fit. Now, I don't have oily lids. I don't have any issues with shades creasing on me or anything like that, so I'm not necessarily the best person to talk about creasing because I don't experience it, but I will say, just texture wise, this is a little bit less emollient. But there are definitely a lot of creators on this platform who have done reviews of this and who have more oily lids, so they can provide a much better perspective. I think Annette's Makeup Corner is one of them. So just my 2 cents. Okay, so I have that on there. It has a really beautiful purple shift that I'm glad I went with this one. This was the best choice. And I'm gonna go in with Pearl, which is another multi-chrome. And it's just a little bit thicker, so I definitely should not have picked up this much, but I want to put that into the inner part of the eye and blend it into and I'm blending that into the other shade. I will go in with a brush and clean this up. Okay, I'm gonna be right back in a second. I'm gonna clean this up really quickly, and then I'll come back. We'll start on the rest of the face, and then I'll finish this. We'll continue with this conversation. Okay, so this is what the eyes are looking like right now, and y'all, okay, I really like how this is coming together. So let's get started with the face. I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Matte Primer. And for foundation, Jesus, I'm gonna use my La Mer foundation. Okay, so like I was saying, I take a very kind of objective approach to makeup and to most things in general. And by that, what I mean is that I can like something, I can like someone, but if they are doing some fucked up shit, I can also still call that out and be like, you know what, that was wrong, and you was dead wrong for that. And I think it's so important for us to realize two very important points, which is what I'm trying to like get out here. And that is basically that influencers are not your friends and brands are not your friends. Period. And I know sometimes it can feel like that, especially because, like I said, with the influencer relationship, it does give you this false sense of like, oh, that's my bestie, we're sitting in her room doing makeup together, like, we're cool. That you can feel like there is this bigger sense of, yeah, that's my friend. And you know, some of us, we ride hard for our friends, but are you really being a good friend if you can't call them out when they're doing mess? Like, just think about that for a second. And we have to like step back and realize that these people are not your friends. They really aren't. Like, and same with brands. Like, there are people who will ride so hard for brands that when they mess up, it's like they're so invested in defending them. And I'm like, brands are not your friends. They really aren't. And yes, there are people behind the brand that you may know, especially when it comes to indie brands, because they are usually a 1-2 person shop. And you might feel a certain level of, you know, investment in that brand being successful. But at the end of the day, brands are businesses. They are not your friends. Influencers are creators. They are also not your friends unless you know them like on, you know, like on an actual friend level. Like, really sit and think about the friends that you engage with on an everyday basis, and then think about that influencer that you think you're so cool with. Do y'all really engage the way in which you engage with your friends? And yes, I know that there are levels to friendship. Like, some friends are the type that you call every day. There are friends that you talk to them once a month and it's fine. So yes, I understand there are levels to friendship, but we need to understand that creators and brands are not friends. They're not your friends, period. And that being said, when they mess up, you need to have a very objective approach to it. Did they do something that was wrong? Period. It's not that, well, you know, I like them, they're usually a nice person, blah blah blah. That's fine. They can be a nice person. It can be a decent brand. But if in that one situation, and again, taking it situation by situation, did they do something that was wrong? Did they mess up? If the answer is yes, then you just acknowledge that and call it out. Don't try to rewrite what is. You know what I mean? This La Mer foundation is so good. I've been like sparingly using it because it is so expensive, and my CCO has not had it in stock for some time, so I've been holding out. But use your products, y'all, because things go bad. And now I'm out here in these streets trying to use it up as quickly as possible because I don't want it to go bad, because I'm gonna be even more mad, you know? Like, there's nothing worse than watching a product go bad because you was trying to save it. For concealer, I'm gonna go in with my Pat McGrath, which is a tried and true, and then a little bit of this Too Faced Born This Way, which is honestly closer and probably slightly deeper than my complexion, because I like to even out the my complexion. I don't like a super bright under eye, so, and I have a lot of hypopigmentation underneath my eyes, so I do like to go in with a concealer that's either my skin tone or a little bit darker to even things out a bit. But that's what we're doing. And to be clear, I have, you know, no issues with Michaela as a creator. I don't know her. I don't have TikTok. I should probably start with that. I don't have a TikTok, so I don't watch her content. And to my knowledge, she's not on like YouTube or anything. So I don't watch her content. Personally, I don't like short form content just generally. So this honestly has nothing to do with Michaela as a person. I just don't like short form content because I feel like it feels very overproduced and a little bit staged. Like, I don't like the content where someone is using a product and they're like, oh my god, it's amazing. I really, really despise content like that because it feels very fake. It feels very inauthentic. It is not enough information for me to make an informed decision as a consumer, because it's like, what are you gonna tell me about any product in 30 seconds or less? Like, seriously. There is nothing that I will purchase off of a 30-second review. Absolutely nothing, because I need more information. So for me, short form content has never actually been something that I'm interested in. I've never been good at creating it, and it's not been something I've been interested in watching, because I feel like you don't get enough information to really discern the pros, the cons of a product from that little bit of engagement. And what I feel like when it comes to short form content is that it does feel a little bit more overproduced than, say, like a YouTube video, because of the fact that they're trying to catch your attention within the first 3 seconds. At least that's what I've been told. It's supposed to be like first 3 seconds. So they do like over dramatize their reaction to products in order for you to be like, oh wait, well hold up, now tell me more, you know? And that always just feels very inauthentic to me. So I've never been interested in watching it. The sun is coming back out and shining, 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 shining. And this base, just want y'all to see what this base is giving, okay? Okay, I'm gonna very quickly set my under eyes with my Pat McGrath blurring powder, which, amazing. Do you see the difference? This is in the shade Deep, by the way. I prefer yellow because it does add a little bit of just brightness to the face. But Deep also works as well. To set the entire face, I'm gonna go in with 2 powders because I feel like both of them get at certain areas. So like this is from Essence. This is the 16-hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation. And I feel like this is a little bit light, so I like to put it in sort of the T of my face. And then I have the Too Faced Born This Way powder in Chai, which is a little bit deep and a little bit more orange. So I like to put that in the outer part of my face. I've come to like learn that I just need to mix and match certain things because most things aren't just like 100% what I need it to be. So like I said, I think that we as viewers and people who consume content from influencers need to really understand that influencers are not our friends, brands are not our friends, and we need to be able to be very objective when we look at the things that these brands either or creators are either putting out there or creating. For example, like with Pat McGrath and her sticker, that was a hot mess. And I love Pat McGrath products. I have so much of her stuff. I have spent thousands of my own dollars investing in Pat McGrath as a brand. But what she did was shitty, and it is what it is. Like, and I feel like I could objectively look at that and be like, that was not okay. And I think we need to be able to do the same thing for influencers when they do things that are just not okay. And the same with, you know, even indie brands, even though we know it's a 1-person, 2-person shop, being able to be like, you just can't do that. And then at some point you have to decide if they've done enough bad things for you to be like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm good. You're on pause. I just don't want to support you as a brand anymore. Do I think that she should get canceled over this? And by she, I mean like the whole Michaela situation. I don't care. That's just what it is. I don't care if she gets canceled. I don't care if she doesn't. I don't think that we should be bullying her on the interwebs. I don't think we should be bullying anybody on the interwebs, you know? I think cancellation is not and I'm using the Makeup Revolution Glow Bronzer. I'm really trying to pan this, y'all. And I think cancellation shouldn't be a one situation thing where you mess up one time and suddenly it's like, okay, you're gone. Depending on what the mess up is. I do think that there are certain situations where it's like, okay, you are either harming children or doing something that's just straight up terribly illegal, which, I mean, not disclosing is illegal, so, but you guys know what I mean. If you are harming yourself, others, I think that that is grounds for cancellation. The big isms, I think, are like also ones that make sense. So like racism, homophobia, transphobia, all of those things. I think I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm cool on you. You can just sit to the left over there. Which, this is the right, but y'all know what I mean. And I think it has to be sort of this pattern of behavior. Have they shown a pattern of being extremely deceptive? Have they shown a pattern of being extremely discriminatory? Like that type of thing. Now, again, I don't follow Michaela. I don't watch her content. I do know that she has had a lot of issues or been called out for a number of things in the past. So I think it's up to you. Like, if you watch her, if you follow her, and you still want to watch her and follow her because you think that she puts out good content, that's up to you. And I'm not gonna watch anybody sideways because of that. You know, like, do you, boo. However you spend your time and who you watch is your choice. But if you do decide to watch, you know, their content going forward, I would just say, you know, keep a discerning eye. And I think generally, when we are consuming content from creators, we all need to be mindful of how we are consuming content. Like, are we really only watching one person? Like, I've seen a couple of, like, comments under, like, different creators when they create videos where it's like, I was waiting for your review. You're the only review that I trust, blah, blah, blah. And it's very much, I'm like, really? You should be watching multiple creators' reviews before you decide to purchase a product. That's just how I feel. Because when I am deciding to buy something, I know that what works for you might not work for me. What works for you might work for me. And I feel like when it comes to me deciding, is this a product that's worth my time, I am going to watch multiple different creators to see what their assessment is. Because part of purchasing makeup is preference, where it's like, I like super shiny or sparkly glittery makeup versus somebody else liking more satin like makeup. Somebody might like more matte looks, you know? So part of it is preference, and then the other part of it is skin tone and skin type. Like, I have purchased a lot of things off of the reviews of white creators that did not work for me. And I have come to realize that I need to be more careful with how I purchase things, where I've only seen reviews from people who are of a lighter complexion. So that's the skin tone piece. And then there's the skin type piece where, like, I have more oily combination acne prone skin. So somebody who has dry skin, when they review a product and they start talking about, oh, it makes me extremely dry and it's like my face is peeling. For someone with oily skin, that might mean that product is going to work extremely well for me. So I never purchase anything off of the review of simply one person. And that's why when I see, like, those comments where it's like, I only trust your review, you were the only creator that I believe in. And these are, like, some very extreme comments that I've seen, and not on any of, like, my videos, but on other people's videos. And I'm just like, well, okay, like, you probably should look at more people, because at the end of the day, these people are not your friends. They're creating content. It is their views, their opinions, and I don't think you should be following any one person that closely where their word is Bible, you know? One of the other things that I keep seeing from this is this sort of sense that all creators are liars, all beauty, especially people in the beauty field, are just lying to you. And I don't think that that is true, because the reality of this type of work, and this, I don't do this for work, but the reality of doing this or creating content is that, excuse me, your success is based entirely upon whether or not your audience trusts you and value your opinion. And once you lose that trust and they don't think that you are being upfront or honest, you lose everything. Which is really sad, but it is what it comes down to. Your audience is what dictates your success in this creator influencer space. So most people know and fully understand that, and as such act accordingly. They don't go out there putting out lies to their audience. They don't go out there telling their audience something works when it doesn't, because they know that once that trust is gone, as you know, anything, even in, like, real life, when you trust somebody and they break that trust, think about how hard it is for you to trust that person again. Mind you, this is somebody that you don't know. They're not your friend, like I said. They break that trust, there are going to be people who that click off and never come back. You know, there are going to be the ones that are, like I said, super stands, and you need to evaluate why you stand somebody so hard that you can't objectively look at the things that they're doing that are wrong. But, you know, like I said, there are going to be people that just click off and they don't come back. And the money that you made off of a fraudulent post, are you really going to ever make that again? Because now, once you start losing the engagement of your audience, brands are not going to want to work with you, because at the end of the day, like I said, brands are not your friends. Brands only want to work with creators as long as those creators bring them money. That's the relationship there. So don't think that all creators are out here scheming and scamming and just saying that they like things because they're trying to get a check out of it. Because most of them, myself included, most of us, the vast majority of us, are not doing that. And it's really sad that, you know what they say, one bad apple spoils the bunch. But this too shall pass. Y'all know how these things go, especially in this community. This too shall pass. She will be back. And hopefully she learns, like, hopefully. We gonna see. I think for some people, this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, because like I said, she's had a number of incidents in the past that have rubbed people the wrong way. Like her saying being an influencer is extremely hard and that we should try being an influencer for a day. In the middle of a pandemic. Child, please. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the fact that I think that this stan culture has gone way too far. We are way too invested in defending people who do bad things and brands that do bad things, because we think that there is this closer relationship that exists than actually is, and we need to be able to step back and think objectively about it. Let me finish up the rest of my face and finish up my waterline, and then I will come back and end off this video, and then start the other videos that I need to film today. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and this is the final look, y'all. Okay, my hair is still up because I need to wash it, so it's doing a little bit of preconditioning right now, so let it go. But let me bring you guys in a little bit closer, y'all. I'm sorry, but Blend Bunny, this might be my favorite palette that they've ever done. Maybe. If not, it's the second favorite, because this is amazeballs. Like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. Okay. Also, lips. Let me zoom y'all out and tell y'all what I have on other than the eyes and whatever else you saw. So in finishing up my face off camera, I did go back in with my Blend Bunny mattes. I used most of the same thing that I used for the upper part, except I went in with the pink matte here, and then another one of the dupe multi-chromes, just to give it a little extra sparkle on the bottom. But overall, love how this turned out. For my highlight, I did go in with the Marc Jacobs Jet Girl. This is discontinued. Lord alone knows what's happening with Marc Jacobs, but it's a giant highlighter. It's a very sort of pink goldish flip that I really like. I think that the Marc Jacobs highlight formula is one of my absolute favorites. Too bad they're out of business. But to be quite honest, because that's so big, I will never need to repurchase it, if we're being honest. So for my lips, I went in with the Lisa Eldridge blush lip pencil, and then I went in with the shade Myth on top of it. Complete accident. I was supposed to go in with blush, but I grabbed the wrong one. But I think Myth actually works better than blush, because these lips are giving, and Lisa Eldridge has the best lipstick formula, in my opinion, that I've ever tried. So hallelujah. Anyways, I want to wrap up my thoughts on this sort of stan culture when it comes to influencers and brands and whatnot. I want to be very clear in that I don't think that we should be sending hate in any way, form, or fashion to anybody. Just like, drink water and mind your business. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes there can be a thin line between constructive criticism and just disrespect and hate. Did Michaela fuck up? 100%. She was wrong. Dead wrong. And that is an absolute fact. Should we be as bothered and as invested in this as I think we are? Probably not. I think that we don't need to go online and bash her and be like very disrespectful on her page. Like, just don't do that. Just, it's unnecessary. That being said, we can provide constructive criticism, and I feel like as I'm talking about this, you know, I've been noticing a lot of this sort of like stan mentality when it comes to a number of things. First and foremost, the creator space, like I've been talking about, where when people like a creator, they feel like they have a very strong connection. They want to ride hard for that creator, regardless of whether they do something right or something wrong. I think we're seeing it with, you know, the awakening of Jeffree Star as well. But I feel like it also happens with brands sometimes. Like when brands do something terrible, like there are people that come out to defend them, and I don't understand why. Again, brands are brands, they're businesses. I don't know why we were defending them so hard. And even some of the most like random things people are defending, like this whole Stanley Cup trend. Yo, make it make sense to me, because I am mad confused as to why it's such a trendy thing. And I've been watching videos of like Stanley Cup dupes, and the comments under those videos, they are like really rude sometimes, where people stand so hard for a cup, a $40 cup, that they are out. Like, why is you so invested that you need to attack somebody because they're showing a dupe of a $40 cup? Like, you know, why are we standing these things that don't make sense? If ever the phrase "go outside and touch some grass" made sense, I think it's no, because we need to all pause and reevaluate and think about what we're really standing so hard, you know what I mean? Now, to wrap things up, I will not be purchasing the L'Oreal mascara. I have zero interest in buying it. I'm not gonna buy it just for a video. And that mascara, is it a drugstore mascara? Because drugstore prices have me a little bit confused, because I think it's what, $15, $17. So I am not paying $17 for a drugstore mascara. Just no, not doing it. Hard pass. And I'm not going to do it just because it is like a trendy thing to do now, to go pick up the mascara to review it. So y'all won't be seeing any videos from me reviewing that mascara, just putting it out there so you know. And like I said, my advice for anybody watching my content, or like just content in general, is that don't take all of your reviews from one creator. Make sure that you have a number of creators that you are checking out, because we have such different opinions that you should be able to look objectively at all of the opinions that other creators have, and then decide for yourself whether you want to purchase something. I think that just standing one creator, it just isn't helpful for you as a consumer in terms of deciding whether or not you want to buy something. And that's it. I don't want to belabor this point too much. I think I'm more interested in hearing what you guys have to say. Leave it down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the whole stan culture as it relates to influencers, as it relates to brands. Did you pick up the L'Oreal mascara? I really want to know. I ain't gonna buy it, but I want to know if you bought it. But let me know. Whatever else you want to leave in the comments below, go ahead and do that. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy the content and you want to see more from me. I have been really enjoying these chatty get ready with me videos. And let me just say this, like, and I probably should have said this before, thank you all so much for the respectful comments that you guys leave in my comment section. I love so much that you guys don't agree with me all the time. I really appreciate that you all will have different opinions, and you put it down in the comments and you say what you want to say in the most respectful way, and it's completely fine. I don't want you to agree with me all the time. I don't want people that are just gonna be like, yeah, you're 100% right. No, leave your comments, leave your feedback, leave your opinion, put it all in the comments. I appreciate that more than I think you all know, and I just wanted to put it out there, so thank you. And I appreciate the level of respect that you have in doing it in a way that it's not disrespectful. So thank you guys so much for that. Anyways, I have like 3 or 4 more videos to film, so you'll see this look a couple of times. It's okay. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending some time with me today. I will catch you in my next one. Bye.